Hello friends, so it is a new week. I wanted to do another like weekly cooking vlog, so I will show you just the dinners for this week. I think I'll probably only have like 4 because tomorrow I'll most likely have dinner at my parents' house. So this week I thought I would show you a few of my favorite recipes that are single serve. So I do most of my cooking just for myself. So I do a lot of like small batch or single serve recipes. And the ones I think I'm going to show you this week. And I say I think because I like plan things and then I'm kind of a mood eater. So if I don't feel like eating it that day, we'll see. I might have to switch it up. But in general, what I have planned are some of my favorite single serve meals. So we're going to start today. I'm going to do a roasted gnocchi with vegetables and sausage. This is actually one of my most popular recipes on my food blog. And I made a like full, what's the word? The normal size batch, like enough for 3 to 4 people. And a lot of people really like that recipe. So I've scaled it down now so you can just make enough for one. But of course, this one is pretty easy to scale up as you need to. So I'll share the link to both recipes specifically below. So the oven is set to 425, and I'm now just going to kind of chop up the vegetables. I'm going to use a mix of red bell pepper and yellow because I happen to have part of each. You can of course just use like one color. And then I've got a tiny bit of shallot. I would normally use garlic. I think I'm just gonna throw some garlic powder this time. And then cherry tomatoes are pretty much the only other vegetable for this one. You can, of course, if you want, add some more vegetables. I find that bell peppers are the best for this one. You want to avoid like anything that's maybe too watery. So like zucchini or something I would avoid. But you could try like cauliflower, broccoli, all of those would go really well here. The trick with this one is you want to make sure everything is coated really well. I just use like about a tablespoon of oil for this, but you do just want to like really make sure everything is coated because that is the best way to get everything really browned and delicious. Hold on to this bowl, don't put it in the sink yet. That's gonna cook for about 15 minutes in the oven, and then at that point, I'm going to add in some cut up sausage. You don't have to add the sausage. I just like to, like if you just want a little extra protein, that's why I like to, but the dish is quite good without it. And then the reason I told you to hold on to the bowl is because I'm just gonna throw this back in the bowl and kind of season it that way so you don't let any of that oil or seasoning go to waste, and it just helps to coat the sausage a little bit too. You don't have to do that. If you want to just toss everything on the baking sheet directly, that's totally fine too. And this is our finished dish. Do a little, whoops, just lost quite a bit of that. I like to add a little bit of Parmesan on, but you certainly don't have to. And this is just so good. It's honestly one of my favorite meals. There's just something so special about roasting gnocchi. And to be clear, like, you don't have to boil this before, so I took it straight out of the package and just roasted it. And it becomes like a little crispy, kind of chewy. It's just this like really great texture that I'm pretty obsessed with. And ooh, it's hot. With the vegetables and sausage, like, it's a really filling meal and really didn't take that long to put together. I mean, most of the time is certainly in the oven. There's a little bit of chopping and stuff, but a really good one to like have in the rotation. Hi guys, happy Wednesday. So I'm about to make dinner. It's like 6:30. I took some salmon out earlier this morning. I don't even know if I really want salmon, but since I took it out, I'm gonna make it. So let me grab everything I need and then we'll talk about what I'm making. I am going to make some like salmon grain bowls. I'm using this quinoa and brown rice packet. I think I got this from Costco. I really like it. It's one of those like microwavable ones. So super easy, especially when I'm feeling lazy. Got some salmon. I'm just gonna use one of these. So I'm gonna just use one of these. I'm gonna take the skin off the back and then I'm just gonna cut this up into like little nuggets. And I'm gonna toss it with some of this blackened seasoning and then just pan fry it. I find for something like this where I'm only gonna have like, what, probably 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 little nuggets, it's easy to pan fry real quick. I took out this chimichurri sauce because I like to toss the cooked grains in that. It like adds a little more flavor to the base of the bowl. Then I'm just gonna chop up some cucumber for something a little crunchy and fresh and put a dollop of my favorite garlic spread dip. And I took out this broccoli because I have it and I need to use it. So I might roast it and just like have it in the bowl. I haven't fully decided yet though, because honestly that'll take longer than anything else. So I just have to decide if I'm willing to put in that time. Here is the finished bowl. It is not super pretty to look at. I've got the grains below. I used about half of this bag. Sometimes I use the whole bag. I'm just not crazy hungry today. The salmon, of course. I did decide to roast up some broccoli, so I just did that at 425 for like a little under 15 minutes. I found some avocado in the fridge, so I added that, my cucumber, and then this in the middle is that garlic spread. So I'm going to mix this all up and eat it. I will put the recipe down below. I have a very, very similar recipe on my blog. The spice mix for the salmon is a little bit different. And I don't think that one has broccoli, but obviously, as you can tell, very flexible. You can do whatever you want. Just add whatever you have. This is a really great, like, clean out the fridge meal. So I'm going to go enjoy this, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Hi, we're making wings today. This is a really easy way to make wings. They're certainly not deep fried. I air fry these. And my favorite part is that these are like literally just frozen wings. And I just put them straight in the air fryer, frozen, and they still cook up in like 30 minutes. So I've got a tray with a little rack on it. My air fryer is the like toaster oven looking kind. So that's why I do it this way. You don't want to put it in the like basket it comes in because it'll drip fat all down and probably blow up your kitchen, so don't do that. But if you have the air fryer that has like the pull-out basket, you can just put these straight in there. So anyways, these are giant wings, so I'm just gonna do a couple. But I often will just like buy the packs of like the fresh chicken wings. In my local grocery store, it comes in like, you'll get like a pack of all flats and then a pack of all drums. So I'll like buy those two, kind of mix them up, and then I'll portion them out into little baggies and stick those in the freezer. So that way, if I just want like regular sized wings, I can use that. But I had bought this bag a while ago and it's been in my freezer for a while. Done this recipe before with them and it works perfectly fine. And it's okay if they are like covered in ice. It's like 10 minutes of the cooking time is to essentially defrost them and just like get the cooking process started. So it's all good. I think, let me see. Looks like it's like mostly flats in here. So, okay. So I'm gonna stick these in the air fryer at a pretty high temperature. I have to check my recipe again. I don't actually remember, but it's gonna go in there for like 10 minutes to start. For some reason with these wings, I really like to eat something like kale or some sort of salad. I think, I don't know, I guess I associate wings with like junk food, even though these are quite healthy, but still. Anyway, so I'm gonna make a quick little lemon parmesan kale salad. It's one of my favorite side dishes to make. It's really simple, and if you just like keep kale on hand, it's great. So I've got a whole bowl of kale here. I'm gonna just squeeze on a little lemon. Do a tiny bit of olive oil, like half a teaspoon. You really don't need a lot. And I'm gonna start to massage this. And you really like wanna get in there. So like wash your hands and then just like go to town. You are essentially just squeezing the life out of it. And you'll see that it'll just really start to shrink down. And my kale's kind of old, so I don't know that's gonna turn color, but kind of more fresh kale, you'll see it'll start to turn like a more of a bright green. So just massage this for like a good minute or two. You really want to soften it and just like make it easier to eat. Cut on my hands, the lemon's hurting. Okay, and then I add, I've just got a little bit of grated parmesan. So I'm just gonna add a little bit in here. Again, you can do as much as you want. And I generally find that the parmesan adds enough salt. However, you can taste this, and if you need more salt, just add a little bit. And that's it. Good, so I'm just gonna let this sit, and it'll be ready when the wings are. So after that first cook, they're just gonna look like not frozen anymore. but they're not cooked. So just, there you go. So now we're gonna actually season them. I should have noted before, if you wanna make these wings and just use like fresh wings, not frozen ones, you absolutely can. Just start here. So you can just go ahead and season the wings and then stick them in the air fryer, and the whole thing will take you like 15 minutes instead of closer to 30. So that's really fun. Okay, so I'm just gonna season with obviously a little bit of salt. And then I am using my, what I call house seasoning. It's essentially just like a mix of my favorite spices. So it has chili powder, cumin, smoked paprika, onion powder, garlic, all of that. So I will of course have the recipe down below. Just sprinkle some of this on. Start with that. And then my one little trick is to use a teeny tiny bit of cornstarch. Like I'm using 1/8 of a teaspoon, and I actually always measure this out because you definitely don't want too much. But that helps to just get these like a little bit extra crispy because you're of course not frying them. And then I use like an oil spray, just a little bit, but you really only need like half a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon of oil if you're gonna use it. And then mix these up really well. These are not the right tongs for it. This is gonna take me a while, but you wanna just make sure that everything is coated. I'd use my hands, except these are really hot. So just do your best. The last thing I do once these are done is I just drizzle a little bit of Mike's hot honey. Oh, that's a lot. I didn't need to do that much. But just makes them all sticky, a little bit sweet. And the finished meal. So you've got the kale here, the chicken, and then I just added a few pickles because I felt like it. I've got you in a cupboard now. Anyways. Here is the final look. So good. And so easy to make. If you don't have an air fryer, totally fine. You can do this in the oven. I would do them at like 400, and the same thing, like let them cook probably a little bit longer. So like you'll need 20 minutes for the first one to like defrost. But mix it all up, and then probably another 20 minutes. And you can crank the heat up to like 450 if you want to. Just get them crispy. But pretty, like not bad for a weeknight dinner. And I've got my kale, so I'm being healthy. Big fan.